that. That's for sure. That's her talent. And so I had to erase that. That's her talent. That's what I was thinking about. And we all have our own unique gifts to give and to share. And it's interesting is trying to prepare a talk. Sometimes it just gets a little bit scattered for me because there's just so much good information that I don't know where I want to go or what I want to say exactly, because there's just so much. So what I do then is I just say a prayer of surrender and ask to be guided and ask God to use me to share whatever it is meant to come through today through me to you. So and I have some basic things I wanted to just to talk about, some things that I was jotting down and thinking about this idea that I am one with God and I am a unique expression of the divine. And what does that mean? It means to me that I am a part of the whole thing. And so I was not even trying, but I kind of came up with an analogy. It's like the ingredients to a cake. There's the flour and the sugar and the baking soda and the eggs and the whatnot. And I'm one of those pieces. I'm one of those parts of that whole thing, that cake that's going to be as God's creation. This is what I am. And then my likeness to God is that I am the creator. I can be the creator then of my own cake. So in a way, it's like there's God's creation, and then we are our own little creators here. But what's important is when I tap into that connection with God, source, whatever you want to call him, Buddha, whatever the many names that man has chosen for that knowing inside, of the truth of who we are. I just kind of lost where I was going with that. That we're all a part of the whole, and that we all play a part in that whole, but we also play that part in our own lives. And where I was going with that is that when I connect to that greater source, that guidance and that truth comes through me out to you, and that we all have different experiences, and that's what makes us uniquely individual, because really we're all a lot the same as well. We all use our senses to perceive this life or the world around us, our sight, our ears, our hands, whatnot, and then we use whatever our ability to share that out into the world. And that's what's unique, is that how our experiences have affected us and created who we have become in this lifetime, and that when we're quiet with ourselves and in these times of meditation that we give, it allows us to get more in touch with that aspect of who we are and allow that flow to come through. And as we know here too, that if we want to be something different, and I guess this is the tricky thought I had this morning, is that if I'm flour, I can't become sugar. Okay, I can't become the baking soda. I'm the flour, and that's that. And I have to accept that sometimes we just have to accept certain things about the reality of what and who we are. And then we take that and we can put it into a lot of different things. So as I was writing this, I thought, then came the flourless cake. And it didn't need me anymore. And it was a really good cake, but it changed. It was different. And so now that doesn't mean the flour doesn't exist anymore. It's going to be used in other ways, and I think that's kind of like how we are as people too. We come together here. We're making a cake today. Okay. We all come together and with our pieces, and we're creating we're creating something greater than ourselves just by being here together. Just by one other person being here, we've created a power greater than ourselves, which allows us then to be open and to expand, because we can't expand beyond the level of our own consciousness. That's just going to be a continuous loop. We learn and expand by exposing ourselves to something other than just ourselves, and seeing where we can fit in, where that part of ourselves may fit in at that point in time. So things change, things evolve, people come, people go. I've been involved in this teaching for, I came across this about 15 years ago, and I've kind of stayed with this, and I've seen people come and people go, and that's the way it is, and it's okay. And I hear this question a lot too about being bigger and being this and being that. How about just if we just be what we are, and if we continue to be what we are, we continue to learn and expand, but then we exist then for anybody else that may want to experience that too, or to have this little bit of knowledge. It's just a piece. It's not the end all be all. Nothing is. It's just a piece of it's a piece of the puzzle of whatnot. But we are important and we are valuable. And I think that important part there for me anyway was that the flourless cake analogy, because in my own experience, I, a lot of people know, I have a grandson and my son, and things were kind of rocky in the beginning of his first 7 years. And, he's 12 now, and things have changed and shifted. But, I am like the flour, and they became the flourless cake. It was kind of like, we don't really need your service here anymore, Well, that's really hard. That's very painful. And but that's what a lot of these other teachings teach us too. I think a lot, like in Buddhist, is not to attach to things, to learn how to be without that attachment to the things and circumstances, or think it's like the most worst thing that happened, because I do know, and I do honestly believe that this is the best possible way for things to be, because it's the way it is. And I want to add to that I have done everything I could do in my power to make things what I felt was in the best interest of my grandson. And that's all I can do. That's all I can do, is the best I can do. And that's when I let it go. That's when I surrender. And it doesn't look the way I think I want it to look, or whatever, but that's not the point. It's, when I can accept it for what it is and redirect myself and my energy, because clearly it's not really needed there right now. It must be needed somewhere else, and stay open to that. So that's what I like, that idea of staying open to things. One of the challenges I have with a lot of other teachings is if they say this is the only way to do anything. I have a hard time with that. I think there are a lot of ways for different people, but as unique as we are, we is as much the same as we are. We have feelings. We are human. We don't. I mean, I might be good 95% of the time, but I'm not perfect, and I will fall, and I do, and I have, and you just got to pick up again and move forward. And I'm grateful that I truly believe that my connection to my source, and however that is, or however I look at it, has given me the ability to continue to rise above these challenging experiences of life, because they are. I think that maybe we thought, a lot of people say, oh, the world's this now, the world's that now. The world's really not any much different than it ever has been. If you believe history, this is what we've been doing since the beginning of time, right? Killing each other, and everybody power and space and this and that, but there seems to be a certain core of people that have grown beyond that level of consciousness, that we need to do this and behave like that. Not everybody feels that way, clearly. Is it right or wrong? I don't know. It just is. I had a thought years ago in a meditation about peace on earth. And in that, I thought, maybe there's not supposed to be peace on earth. Maybe that's why we're here. Maybe that's why we chose to come here, to play the game of up and down, in and out, up. Who knows? There's a lot of there's a lot of stuff out there. And if I'm an energy that whatever, maybe that's just the way this world's meant to be. I don't know. I don't know that answer. I know that how I want my world to be, and I think we all feel similar. I want to feel safe. I want to feel protected. I want to feel fed. I want to be comforted. We want to feel good. We want to do things that make us feel good. Um, Sometimes they don't always lead to the best outcomes either, though. And I'll just share with you quickly that today, December 17th, is an anniversary for me. I had my last drink of alcohol 32 years ago on December 17th, 1991. I made a decision, and that's what we do. We make decisions, and then we become willing to do what we need to do to accomplish whatever it is we want to accomplish. But my vision when I walk into that situation is I don't want to live like this anymore. There has to be another way. And I'm willing to go out and see what other way there is. And I am so grateful for that, for recovery, for what I've learned. That, I was raised Catholic. I went into a fundamentalist Christian. I have had the Christian teacher. I've done a lot of learning, reading, blah, blah. But I'll tell you, for me, it was the spirituality. That's where I learned that. And what it is real simple. It's it's kind of like there's a power greater than I am, and I can use it. And you better start trying to do that. And that power being just simply the group, just like I said here, and if it's just one or two more people, because there's power in that. And to take a look at ourselves, and see where I'm blocking my relationship to my source, because that's all that really matters, and how am I doing that? And we do that through, 7 deadly sins is just a good way to look at it. Take each one of those and you'll see how we affect our own relationship to ourselves, to our God, to other people. And that's what we become aware of that, but we don't try to change it. What we do is we ask God to please remove those things. Wow. Yeah, there's work to do, to look at it, whatever. But it's through prayer and connection, and then being of service to others. It's a cycle. It's a circle. It's life. That's how it goes. And I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm still in it. I've lost a lot of people along the way, and it's been a rough year. Really has. I can sit here with a smile on my face, and I can show you the pretty pictures on Facebook and the happy, but I can tell you now that I cried this morning for a few minutes when I read something, and that's okay. I do that probably every day, it seems like, but it's okay. It's refreshing, because you know what? For that little bit of time that happened, the whole rest of my day is not like that. It's pretty neat. So I don't know if you got anything out of this or whatever, but this is what the message that came through me today to share with you. I'm so grateful for y'all being here today. We say keep coming back. It works if you work it. So we just keep doing life. We are creative. We use our mind to create, but we also allow, and the art of is the title of my talk. That art of living is learning how to use the tools that we have to create the life that we desire. So peace, blessings, Merry Christmas, welcome the light, however you want to see the light, whether it's the light of God, the Son of God, the light of Hanukkah, however, I always say it's the eternal light. So peace. Thank you.